just got back from taking Benny out. We are officially in the week of the move, which is crazy to me. I have to catch you up on the last couple of days because I haven't been filming. Things have been a little crazy. But right now I have to go film a project for work. In my work as a content creator, I feel like I'm very strict about the brands that I work with in the sense of like, I need to be excited about the campaign. The brand needs to align with my values in order for me to be, you know, basically advocating for their products or services on my page. So usually I look forward to filming days, but today I'm feeling pressed for time. And this is kind of the last thing I want to be doing right now, also because it's a different kind of project. Like I said, I normally don't take on anything that I'm not super like aligned or excited about. And I actually love this company and product, but I'm not actually shooting content for myself with them today. I'm basically making content for the brand to be able to use using my skills as a content creator. This is also commonly referred to in my world as UGC. It's like called user generated content, where basically they are purchasing said content that I'm making from me in order to be able to use it on their brand pages. So rather than it being like I'm advertising and partnering with a brand to promote their products or services, they are essentially just tapping into my skills as a content creator. It'd be like the same thing as hiring a photographer or a videographer, but with a social media specialty to create videos for their brand and product. And the nature of this tends to be a little bit more detailed and precise rather than me coming up with some kind of creative necessarily to create the different components of a video. They are giving me a shot list of all the things that they want on video in my creative lens. But I'm just a little stressed today because there are certain parameters that I have to work with. I just sent Justin out to the store to grab one thing that I forgot, and I definitely need to get this wrapped up and executed well this morning so that I have the rest of this afternoon and evening to wrap things up because we are technically 2 days out from closing. There were some snafus that we will catch you up on in this next little video clip I will film after I get done with this. God, I need to do something about my hair. I'm in that, again, kind of middle-ish stage right now where I feel like I just want my hair to be long. I'm kind of over the short hair thing, which I didn't think I would say, but right now it's just become increasingly kind of hard to style unless I put a lot of effort into it and it doesn't stay styled for the next day. Anyhow, off to go shoot. I will be back with some updates over the last couple days. I hear some shuffly paws in the hallway. And my husband, your shuffly paws. Where's the shuffly paw boy? There he is with the, Welcome to the living room, the state of the living room. It is a mess. We've got boxes, gotten everything kind of taken down here. This is a bunch of the stuff that we are shipping out with our car. More boxes, lots of squeaks from this little furry bastard. It is technically the end of the workday, the day before we close, and today has felt like it's a million years long. I actually haven't vlogged in the last couple of days, so there's a lot to catch up on. I almost can't even remember where I left off on my last updates. Rewinding back to the last week, essentially though, we've just been really busy packing the house, getting the house prepared, all of that stuff. It's crazy how kind of empty it's getting, but at the same time the furniture is here, so it still looks like it's somewhat full. So this past week, there have been a lot of things going on. So on the seller side of stuff, they had to get some permits closed out in order to get the certificate of continued occupancy, which is a requirement thing in New Jersey. So we had been waiting on updates from that, and they had to have a couple of smaller inspections to make sure everything was good to go there. The communication had just been a little bit slow incoming from that side several times, so that was also a process that felt a lot like pulling teeth. And then on my end of things were starting to get wrapped up for all of the final numbers for closing, and then began all of the logistics of our actual move. So first up was the car shipping. So the car was essentially supposed to be shipped out last week, because we wanted the car to be available to us pretty quickly after we arrived there, since we have so many errands and things like that to do with the move, deliveries and all of that stuff. But then it ended up getting delayed for the pickup, and they give you this kind of vague, not vague, but they give you a wide pickup window of like 1 to 5 business days essentially. So then the trucker that was assigned to our job said that they couldn't actually pick up and that they would be delayed till the weekend. So we were like, okay, fine. It'll still arrive somewhat close to the time that we arrive, and we get some more days in California with our car. Then that day came, or it was almost there, and they were like, just kidding, more delays. I think it was a little bit of the weather and all of that stuff that was happening all over the country. So then at this point, we were like, let's contact the parent company to ask if we can be assigned to another trucker, because now things are gonna be delayed like way too much for us. So we called, got assigned to another trucker person, and their delivery date was somehow even later than the original person's. So then we had to call back and be like, can we actually be placed with our original driver? And in this process, I basically had to call and chase down customer service multiple times in order for anything to happen. Like I'd call and put in the request, and they said that they would get back to me with the updates, but no one did. So I continually had to follow up. And then the last customer service agent within like 15 seconds took care of it for me. So I'm just like, how did that happen? If you've been watching these vlogs, you know that a lot of the process has kind of gone like this. But anyway, that's the car. We technically still have it. It is going to be shipped out tomorrow, and we found out that it's essentially the same time as our closing. But our closing is taking place at our house with a notary. Since we are across country, we can't actually go to like the title company where it traditionally would be held. So that'll be okay, because then Justin will just duck out for a quick second to be able to, you know, get the car in place. So we've been like panic packing, trying to make sure that we fit into the allotted number of boxes that we promised that we would have for the moving company and not over. But I'm hoping for a smooth move, because this company has been good with my stuff in the 2 moves prior to this. And so it was really nice working with them. Benny's been acting like a total weirdo. I feel bad because everything around his home is changing, and he's very confused as to why. There he is. And he's also been desperately cuddling up to me anytime I'm sitting still, which is very rarely now because I've been pacing all over the house trying to get things packed and cleared out. There's just so much stuff. I wish I had filmed more of the in-betweens, but honestly, I feel like someone's been chasing me with how fast things have been happening. But everything from like cleaning out the fridge, trying to give friends like good pantry staples that, you know, they can use and things like that. Trying to make sure that we minimize the food waste as much as possible by, you know, cooking all of our last little bits before leaving. Recycling, donating, selling off things. It's just been a continuation of that. So we're winding back to last week. Towards the end of last week, we were supposed to have like our final numbers essentially of, you know, the final closing costs of the money that you have to wire to finish purchasing your house. You're supposed to have the final numbers. We were supposed to have the certificate of occupancy from the sellers and the permits closed out. We were supposed to have the survey on our property, which is not a requirement, but it's something that you would like to get done during the process if you want your title company to insure it, which they are for us. So that's why we opted to go forward with it. But all this stuff was supposed to be back to me by like Thursday, Friday. It wasn't. And if we're talking about days of the week here, today's Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday, which is closing day. And so going into Monday morning, I had no idea when our car was going to be picked up. I had no idea exactly the final amount that I was going to owe for the rest of this house, even though obviously I have a projection because I'm crazy and I have all of these spreadsheets. But the final number actually told to you by the title company and your lender. We were going into our walkthrough to just make sure that the house looked okay virtually via FaceTime with our real estate agent. We didn't have the CO because it turns out there was like another little mini inspection that they needed to do by like the fire department to issue some kind of sticker to say that the framing was good and fireproof or something like that. So all of the stuff that we had anticipated being resolved towards the end of last week, we were now basically waiting Monday morning for, and because of the time difference too, that I had less time today to get all of this stuff done, including actually wiring the money and all of that before our closing tomorrow. So today was interesting. I woke up at like 6 a.m. to make sure that I was kind of on Eastern time to be able to attend to all of this stuff, but we made it through the day. Also, immediately after wiring all the funds, I texted who I thought was Justin saying we are poor now, because basically bye-bye all of our monies. And I texted it to my lender instead by accident. Thankfully, he has a good sense of humor, so he was laughing. But I promise we have enough money to pay the mortgage. So yeah, today was quite chaotic. This entire process has been a lot. I feel like I've been managing my stress a little bit better over the last couple days overall. I feel like last week I was in a pretty dark place mentally. People kept asking me if I was excited about all of this stuff, and I honestly couldn't say yes. It felt like the stress and everything that had kind of gone not according to plan was really just eating away at me, and it made it really hard to actually feel anything other than that. So it created very little room for me to feel any kind of excitement. I feel like now that we are officially in the week of the move itself, the money has been sent, we are signing the official papers and everything tomorrow, I feel like it feels more real and not like it can slip away through one random error on someone else's part or something like that. So I feel a little bit more cautiously optimistic. Even while FaceTiming our agent this morning as she was doing the final walkthrough of the house, it was a little bit sad because I was looking around at the house that I love. I really love this house, but I was looking around and I like didn't even feel a bit of like, oh my gosh, it's going to be like our house, just because I feel like I've kind of had to deaden a lot of my emotions in order to tamper down on kind of like the negative stress and all of this stuff, and it feeling like I'm kind of straddling multiple things at once right now, feeling very unsettled. And I feel like you can't selectively block off negative emotions only, you block off both, and that's what I feel like I've kind of done. But I'm trying to be a little bit more present. In the middle of the day, even during all of this chaos, my friend and manager, she came over to our house and we took a walk outside, got to enjoy some California sunshine, which really helped kind of reset my brain a little bit. And Justin and I have been talking a little bit more about, you know, what we're looking forward to and all of this, and I'm starting to feel like I see a little bit more of the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel weird saying all of this sometimes because I don't want it to be misconstrued as me not being grateful, because like throughout this whole process, regardless of how stressed I've been, I feel extremely fortunate and extremely grateful that we can even do this or have this opportunity to do this. But it doesn't also negate the stress and complications of all of this. And the fact that buying a house is a real financial huge leap in a lot of ways that is stressful for most people. All right, we have packed up the car, filled it to the brims and the gills. There's stuff in the back seat too. But our notary is coming in less than an hour for our closing, and the car is also supposed to be getting picked up like around the same time, so Justin's just gonna run out and quickly give them the keys. I'm really hoping that they don't make a fuss about the amount of stuff we packed in the car. We have filled it to the gills, but hopefully they will give us a pass. And you're just so excited. You're excited. Are you helping us sign?
Put this. What did you say when you were sitting down?
Bye-bye.
No,
Oh, I said we're officially closed, kind of. I mean, like, they have to ship the papers overnight to title. But are you excited? Are you high-fiving today? Congratulations, congratulations. We have our new house, sort of.
But what did we just do?
We just closed on our house.
Signed all the papers?
Said bye-bye to the rest of our lives. Basically, because you like sign basically your rights away.
We already signed those rights away.
Well, we already gave them all of our money, so might as well just give them the rights to our life, right? So, yeah.
I am going to miss sitting out here. I feel like I made an effort to sit out here mornings and evenings, plenty, but now looking back, it doesn't feel like enough. California's sun and air, all of this stuff is just different. It hits different. So as you saw earlier, today was closing day, and I should just really stop expecting days to go as planned, because even when I recorded the clip this morning of loading up the car to get that picked up around the same time that we were closing, that didn't happen. Closing, thankfully, notary was a little bit late, but that went super fast because we also e-signed a ton of documents, but now those documents all have to be overnighted to the East Coast to the title company to get that all sorted, but technically we are closed. For a plane, it feels like sure flying slow. But really quickly first about the car thing. I feel like I'm never going to use this company again, and hopefully we won't have to ship our car ever again, but still. First time that we shipped with them, it was like super straightforward and easy and things worked out really well. But this time, so they work with third party like trucking, towing company places for the cars. But man, the communication on this one was rough, and this guy was asking us to drive basically over an hour to meet him, and he was insisting that his truck would not fit down our streets to get our car. And I'm like, yes, they will. I understand that there are some narrow streets that they can't do, but it's definitely fine here. But that finally did end up happening. They picked it up. Justin had to go drive like 10 minutes away to meet him and then walked all the way back. At least the trucker apparently was nice in person. He was not so nice over text and didn't say anything about how we kind of packed our car to the brim. Gray area in terms of the limit of like how much we were supposed to put in there. But we were getting desperate because we were running out of boxes here. So the car debacle and kind of dealing with the meetup and drop-off situation. So after the car got picked up and I scrambled to get to work because I feel like I've just been falling so far behind at all my work stuff. So try to squeeze some of that in today, and I definitely have a lot of editing and such to do tonight for this YouTube. And then tomorrow will be pretty much like a full dedicated packing day because we really need to get that wrapped up now before the movers get here. And then it's full of like last minute really weird stuff that we have to remember to make sure of with the house and everything. Still feels weird that I am unable to share the news on social. All this is happening just not out loud yet. It was really crazy because then I was looking at my flight on my phone for check-in, and it was like T-minus a couple days till check-in, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it's already here. I feel like I'm starting to get excited now. It feels official now, finally, in terms of at least the house. Obviously moving and all of that stuff, getting set up. We have tons of appointments for like internet, installing the washer and dryer and all that good stuff coming up too to coordinate. But it's starting to finally feel more real, and especially because with my planner, I plan out essentially kind of a week in advance of on my master list of to-dos, where it's just like everything that needs to get done, period, regardless of timeline. I like take tasks off of that master list and assign them to each day about a week in advance. And now we're at the stage where all that stuff is like move related. So I think that's why it's already starting to feel more real. But I honestly can't wait for the moment that we wake up in our house for the first time after that bed arrives, make our morning coffee, and I'm actually really excited to be in an empty house. I know that might seem weird, like most people just like want their stuff immediately, and first of all, I kind of hope that the moving company doesn't bring it like on the early end of the delivery window because I need some time to catch a breath. And we're planning on doing a couple of things before they bring in the furniture. But anyway, I'm really excited to actually be in an empty house because for me, I feel like it symbolizes kind of a transition phase, and it kind of feels like the start of something new. It kind of feels a little bit symbolic. Alrighty, off to go make some dinner.